Brought to you by Hulu. Time to have great original shows and movies. Time to have Hulu.
Hey, party people, happy Monday. We've got an overstuffed all Netflix episode for you today because they did their Ta-Dum event and we all got Ta-Dumped on. Oh my God, so much content flying out that hole. We've got Danielle, we've got Eric, and we are going to react to not all because we don't have 2 hours, but just like the heaviest hitters from that Netflix event. I didn't even know this was a thing. This must be the first time they've ever done this, right?
Yeah, this is like their version of an upfronts, right? Like this is kind of their...
I mean, I think the DC Fandom model is, we're going to see a lot of, so I think that this
get to dumped on in the Fandom, just how I like it. I didn't actually get a chance to watch it live. I've just been reading recaps. Was there a presenter? Or was this like Ted Sarandos, like walking off the stage like Steve Jobs?
I believe there were. Ryan, I know that you were super busy. Did you have a chance to look that up?
I just hit you on Slack. Yeah, I'm seeing Markia tweet about it. So we know at least
a friend of the show, Markia McCarty.
She was presenting. Oh, awesome. Well, there you go. They did a whole dog and pony show, and we're here to scarf up that kibble. And we begin, as all things should, with The Witcher. We're gonna go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, we're gonna go show by show, and I want you guys to say whether you think it's Ta-Dum or Ta-Dum. And I think you just put a little stank on it to let me know which one you think. Your reaction in general. Danielle, Witcher season 2. Look at that boar man. Like a mid-potion Henry Cavill. Do you think this looks Ta-Dum or Ta-Dum?
Ta-Dum!
Okay, nice.
Super into it. Give me the monsters.
Noise. Yeah. And now, Eric, full disclosure, you said you're not a Witcher guy. Not that you don't like it, just that you haven't dove in yet.
Because I'm wary. I'm not into this type of fantasy usually. And people were so split that I knew on Witcher. But here's the main thing I'll say about this. I'll say Ta-Dum too, only because they clearly, look, the mysteries of Netflix and the algorithm and what is really a hit on Netflix. We don't understand these things. What we can understand is they must like the viewership numbers on Netflix because they sure are ordering a lot of things related to The Witcher. And so I'm just saying Ta-Dum because look at how much Witcher they want to give us. That's impressive to me.
And unlike Army of the Armyverse that they've got, The Witcher seemed to expand more organically. The first season came out, it was a hit, and then they said, okay, let's make a bunch more, instead of what they did for the Armyverse, which is we're making 17 things all based in this world. So yes, Ta-Dum. Ta-Dum. I think it was pretty good. It looks like more of the same, which I'm totally fine with. They gave some nods to the lifers, to the geeks, Kaer Morhen. We meet Vesemir. That seemed pretty cool. But also in some of the assorted clips, it makes it very clear that this is still kind of a Monster of the Week show that still has some continuous elements. And the showrunner has responded in the past saying that they're going to ditch the overlapping multiple timelines thing. It wasn't really serving the story they wanted to tell. So yeah, just a streamlined Witcher show. Yes, give me more.
Give me Monster of the Week. Y'all know how much
no one
I love
will watch
Monster
it week by week, of course.
No, not a chance. Well, do they? No, they don't do that. This is all just going to drop on us, right?
I don't know if they announced that. I mean, I don't know, because I feel like things could change now that model of dropping things week by week might be getting more popular, but we'll see. I don't know if they're planning on
now.
Doing that.
Netflix is still, except for some of the reality and competition stuff, they're still sticking to the all at once for their scripted shows. I do
gotta wait for the circle. You gotta wait for the circle, because that's what I know is like for the circle and Sexy Beasts, which of course I watch. Those you gotta wait for. So
yeah. I thought they were, correct me if I'm wrong, but they were mixing in a lot of season 1 clips with the season 2 trailer to show you, like, I remember Porcupine Wedding from that, Yennefer's transformation there, but still the new stuff was certainly intriguing enough. And I don't care if they don't change a thing. I just want to go back. Just want to go back to Nilfgaard, man. Don't you want to go back to Nilfgaard? Eric,
I want to go to Nilbog from the movie Troll 2. But Nilfgaard sounds cool too.
I want to go to Milfbog. Am I
right? There were also a lot of like little sizzles and teasers and stuff for the Witcher anime movie, the Blood Origin prequel, and a Witcher for Kids show, which I'm very excited.
Witcher babies, man.
Yeah, to show to any children. But I think that's look, it's an easy. That's probably the easiest ta-da of the night. So let's move on to this one. Might be a little controversial. Cowboy Bebop. We got a theme song. Luckily, it's Tank. It's of course they didn't stray too far from that. I guess I'll start. Ta-dum. I'm saying ta-dum.
Oh.
Look, I know that he does blast a cig, which is essential, and I was waiting for that to happen. And you can't replace that with a walkie-talkie or whatever and still call it Cowboy Bebop. But it just, and granted, this is just an intro, but it struck me as why are we doing this? It looks like a really good cosplay video, or like a cool, like cute awards show thing that they did or something like that. Cause it just looks like Cowboy Bebop with people. It looks like they're doing the same shit. I'm sorry, but it just looks like they're recreating the show with live action. It's never going to look as good as the animation. And also, where's Ed? Where's Ed at? No Ed.
Yeah.
They gave us a corgi. We're missing one of the main
Yeah, they
characters.
gave a sign. I am on full ta-da, but
Okay.
just because it's like look, and I'm with you. Like, I also don't think that made my cat come. Hi, baby. Hello, I see you too. That also, like, I feel the same way where I'm a little hesitant because it looks like it's taken directly from the thing. And I don't want shot for shot. I never think shot for shot works. But I do think it looks really cool and really stylized. Like, I'm definitely giving it a chance. Like, this is one of those ones where after the first couple of episodes, I'm gonna know if it's like ta-duh. Like, I'll know if it's like straight up like a bazam. But I think that I hope that they're saving Ed for later, and that's why we haven't gotten a reveal yet, because Ed is a character that does come in so much later in the series. So I'm hoping that's what happened. But also, I got my eye.
Yeah, you did.
I'm happy.
I
did.
Your magic dog.
Little magic corgi. Happy girl.
Sorry, Eric. Are we going 0 for 2 on your?
No. We're not actually.
Okay, good.
Because this one I can give a full ta-dam to. Well, I think I mentioned before, Cowboy Bebop, only anime series I've watched in its entirety.
There you go.
Really liked it, but that was 15 years ago, and I couldn't tell you a thing about it except I remember liking it. And I thought these credits were cool, and it was like, oh yeah, this reminds me of that thing from 15 years ago I really liked. So,
is that how low we've set the bar? This reminds me of the thing I like. And yeah, Danielle, you're saying like it looks stylish. You know what looks stylish is the original. Like, there's no when you take live action adaptations of anime, like, what are they adding? And to me, this was adding nothing. So that's why I gave it the ta-dum. But
you're not ready to let's jam.
I am ready to jam, but it doesn't seem like they're doing anything new with that jam. It just seems like we're doing a cover version of the jam, but like it's like the live action stunt show version of Cowboy Bebop. It's just, I don't know.
Okay, but you know how much I like that.
Thank you. A stuntacular? Come on.
Yeah, it's a stuntacular.
I've already established that I love those things.
Yes, they're the best.
Okay, let's move on. There's something else that I wanted to talk about, because I love this graphic novel, the comic, I don't know what you call it, Sandman comics. Neil Gaiman, right? Charles, we got a little clip, and Charles Dance tries to summon death and does a little whoopsie and gets as his brother or his cousin Dream instead. This one's right on the border for me, because we didn't get enough. We did not get enough of anything really. So I'm gonna give it a ta-da.
We got some posters, and I think that you got to see a little bit more of the world in the posters. I am full ta-dam on this one. Like, I am full in. I love the, I mean, obviously, like, come on, look at me. I'm a girl with bangs. Obviously, I love I obviously really love Sandman. I love the show. I love the series. I love all of the Death spinoffs. I love I can't remember her last name. I'm awful, but Kirby Howell. I love the idea of her as Death, because she has been able to play such like cheerful characters, and I think she's going to do great. The posters, the one they did of Sandman does not do him justice. The one that they did of Dream, he does look like Edward Cullen, and I think we all just have to be okay with that. Like that's what happened. But I am really, it's the hair, it's the lighting, it's the way that they posed him, and with the crow, like I get what they're doing, but it's like y'all gotta be if you know you casted a guy that looks like the other guy who was also best friends with that guy, then like I think that you have to be way more careful about the way that you frame it, because everyone was making fun of the posters for that reason. But I'm super psyched. I'm psyched for both this, and I'm psyched for the radio play version. I will take, yeah, they're also doing like a kind of a podcasty radio play version. I forget what that's for. I think it might be the BBC. But so I'm excited for both versions of Sandman that are coming out now. And that made me, I was more worried about the live action version, but seeing the way that they're doing it, I'm super like, I like, this might be the one that I'm the most excited for out of the entire slate that they showed.
Yeah, I'm same here. I'm a full ta-da about this one. We keep going increasing about my knowledge base here, because yeah, Sandman I've read multiple times. Love the comic, love Neil Gaiman, and so, yeah, this looked really cool to me. I showed it to my wife, and I didn't tell her what it was for, and she got so excited when she realized what it was when you saw the mask and they started naming their siblings. It was, it's a tease. It's a tiny little bit, so we don't know much yet, but it looked cool to me. I like the mood, the feel. I like that they, the actual aesthetics of it and the mask looking just right. I saw some people bitching online about the eyes and that he doesn't have the black glowy eyes. To me, I'm like, guys, like, let's be practical here. It would suck for the actor. It wouldn't be good for one-on-one scenes, and I bet you it'll happen when he's using his powers in certain ways.
It's super distracting. I'm sorry.
I think it would be, and if we can accept Batman never having the white over the white eyes, we can be okay with Dream Morpheus having normal eyes, except once in a while. I'm hoping the black thing.
I'm not asking for like a 1-to-1 visual match, like that. He can have he has the hair of like a YouTuber, like a TikToker. Fine. I want the crazy Robert Smith hair. But it's like, it's just a vibe. The vibe he's given is like it's kind of like derelict. It's a little Blue Steel, and that's just not. That's not how I envision Dream. I think the vibe is off.
I have always envisioned Dream as like a little sad emo boy.
But he's not like he's not like giving face to the camera like, ooh, I'm Dream. He's sad. He's like he's a little sad boy. He's not like a little male model doing a sad photo shoot. I don't know.
Yeah, I think once you bring in the live action though, this is kind of part of the danger. I don't even say danger. It's part of the territory though, right? That it will have those trappings, and that everything we love about Sandman and the fact that Sandman is very tied into like goth culture and all. Once you actually put it on screen, then it's like, oh, he looks like a guy going to a club. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
He does look like Love Will Tear Him Apart. So right. That is a fair point.
But I want it to look like Love Will Tear Him Apart in 1987, not 2007. But we'll work with this. It's fine. It still has a lot of promise, and Charles Dant's always a good call. Let's move on to Army of Thieves. So many armies out there. The thieves have an army. The dead have an army. In this one, we get a lot more about Dieter, who I did think was like a charming kind of fourth wall breaker from Army of the Dead. And we enter a world of underground safecracking competitions. You know them, you love them. Yeah. Maybe not the most cinematic part of any heist movie, including Army of the Dead, but I did really like his character. So I'm going to give it a ta-dum. It seems meta and fun, and I do have a bone to pick with. I don't know if it was Fandom. I don't know if it was our Papa company or if it was the Netflix's Twitter or something, but they're putting like Zack Snyder's Army of Thieves all over this. And it's like, he produced it. This is not a Zack Snyder movie. Granted, it takes place in the universe he created, but somebody else made this, which I think could be 50-50, whether that's an improvement or not. You don't know which version you're going to get of Snyder. But I think this looked pretty fun and good. And I don't really see the necessity to make this a interconnected universe, but I like heist movies, and this looks like a cheeky self-aware one. What do you guys think?
Ta-da! Maybe. I mean, it does, like, the underground safecracking competition did very much give me a Social Network vibe, where it's like, oh, they're all gonna get down there and drink their Mountain Dew and just crack some safes. But it looks fun, as long as it just stays dumb fun and don't.
To dumb fun.
Yeah, to dumb fun. Thank you. Like, don't set up the zombies, because honestly, I don't want to see them. I don't even want them to do that thing where like on the TV they're crossing by and they're like, oh no, there was like a weird guy shambling in the background. I don't want.
But they do that. They're on TV in this trailer.
I know. I don't want it. I don't like it. But it does. I mean, if they stick to this kind of like, because it looks like very like Fast and the Furious, like very stupid fun, like that I'm into. The more and I like that I can actually see everything. Unlike with Army of the Dead, which had that like pro beauty
Snyder Vision.
Yeah, that like beauty box filter, that like Instagram filter on it was not my thing. We'll see. Like that one, I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna give it a shot, but I don't know. I'm not psyched for it. And as much as it's like, yeah, man, if I'm like cleaning the house, I'm totally gonna turn that on and see what's what. If I'm on a date and they're really boring and we're not gonna get to make out city, oh sure, I'll turn on Army of Thieves and I'll make fun of it, you know.
Yeah, people usually have to pay for that.
I'll give this a down the middle to Dom. Because I really liked Army. That actually it was the thing I'd enjoyed from Snyder the most in quite a while. Though I didn't love it, I enjoyed it. The weirdness about this is that it is a prequel to that movie, right? Because like you were saying, it's like when they do the news footage of Vegas and when they show the businessman from Army of the Dead, I'm like, that's the part that makes you go, just because it seems like such a strange thing to prequelize to franchise in this way, to not do a sequel, to do a, hey, remember that character from the movie? Spoiler alert, but we've already seen his fate. It's a little weird, but the movie itself.
Or have we? He was a robot.
That's true. There could be a post-credit scene that links it all back. Yeah. But no, the actual movie itself looks like good to dumb fun. It is a likable character. I think it's fascinating that actor is the one directing this. I think it'd be great if all the characters from Army of the Thieves get spin-off movies directed by the actor who played them.
Yeah.
We should get a Tiggs movie, Batista's movie.
Yes.
Do them all.
There you go.
But no, it's a weird thing to franchise, like you said, Spencer, the fact that they decided to do this before they even debuted. They filmed this a year ago. They were so all in on it, but it looks like it could be enjoyable. So
yeah, it's the cost is literally free if you already subscribe to Netflix. Of course, we're gonna watch this. Okay, moving on to Extraction 2. Not much. It's very yellow. I'm gonna say to whatever, to who cares. We've returned to a very yellow part of the world where he's gotten shot in the neck and drowned, and then through the power of motivational quotes, he's alive and bounces back up, and that's all we get. Look, this movie had some cool sequences in it, and I expect nothing more than a sequel with some cool sequences in it. I don't really care about the lore. The villain and the cartel setup was pretty cookie cutter, but it's like just a chance to showcase Chris Hemsworth doing some long takes of him kicking ass. And yeah, sure, why not? Give him another bracelet, drag him out of the water, have him drop kick some people through some laundry chutes or whatever. And yeah, well, sure, why not? A little bit of a shrug. What do you guys think?
Today. My only note, and I'm not even kidding, I'm looking at it, was Extraction, yellow. That's literally the only note that I wrote down when I was like taking notes for all of these.
Man, is that filtered.
Yeah, I'll follow the same. So I have not seen the first Extraction. I'm often pretty harsh on Netflix and their movies, and the fact that they get these great stars to star in them, and then they feel like completely disposable movies. Extraction, I kept hearing, has some cool fight scenes. So it is on my list to check out, but I'm like always fearing it's like, stuff like they just debuted Kate, right, with Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Mm-hmm. On paper, that sounds cool, and then it debuts and no one really cares, and it's just kind of there. But Extraction actually got a sequel. Rake lives, guys. Kids love Rake.
Hashtag it. I know that you've been waiting for the official hashtag of Extraction too.
That's right. Kids are going Rake crazy. So I'll give it a shot, but that is a very, very yellow.
Yeah, they didn't give us too much. Speaking of not giving us too much, a show that I've never seen a single episode of, but is now coming to an end. Ozark. Ozark is wrapping up, and we got a shot of Jason Bateman cleaning himself up in the mirror with, I assume, his wife, and I assume their child's birthday or some type of castle. I don't really know much about the show, so this didn't. I'm sure this does something for you if you've been a fan. What? Anybody? Bueller?
To skip?
No, this is one of the ones where I haven't. It's on my list, and my list is very long. And so far, right now, my list is like, are there 6 episodes that I can binge in like a day?
Yeah.
Then that's going to be the one that I watch. I'm not really like, I'm still getting through The Sopranos, y'all. So like,
it's always hard, you know, because I've been on both sides of you have to watch this show. It takes a little while, but it gets really good, because I've been on the side of it where people tell me that, and I'm like, I don't got time for that. But I've also been on the side of it where I love a show. And I'm
Come
like,
on, yeah.
And so Ozark has been that. I haven't watched it because I hear that a lot. I hear like, well, the first season's okay, but by season 3, it's kicking ass. Yeah. And I'm always like, do I have the time? Will I do that? We'll see. But hey, look, at least they're getting they're getting a proper end, and they're getting a couple more an extra year than Netflix usually gives these days. So good for Ozark.
I'm always happy when a show is like given the chance to actually end, and the fact that I know it might actually have an ending like makes me more likely to watch it.
100%. Totally. I could use. I think it's outgrown its ripoff of Breaking Bad reputation. And by the way, there's worse things to be a ripoff of. So I think enough time has passed that I'm ready to watch.
Also, it seems like they actually heard criticism. We were joking about the yellow on Extraction. Ozark got a lot of criticism early on for being super dark and super blue. And just looking at that footage, it seems like they've tilted away from.
They're in like Appalachia, right? Like the Blue Ridge Mountains down there.
Yeah, they got very literal with that on the cinematography early on.
Okay, another thing that's sort of more of the same, but I have been watching and I'm surprised at how much I still love it, and I'm still bought in. A big ta-dum to Cobra Guy season 4. I just keep making this old dude karate soap opera for as long as they want to, because they're still finding new ways to just rearrange the action figures in different dojos and do and actually mix comedy and heart and children doing karate on each other. I think it's pretty good. I want it to keep coming. Yeah, they brought back increasingingly obscure villains.
Terry Silver!
Terry Silver from the Karate Kid franchise. So yeah, I don't know who's left, but sure. Put it just keep it coming.
I'll tell you who's left is, besides getting Hilary Swank from the 4th one, is that Walton Goggins played one of the evil henchmen in the 4th one. So if you can get Goggins back.
A Swank Goggins production? Yes.
You could get Goggins. And I just realized I accidentally wore my Miyagi-Do shirt as well. Yeah, no, I'm super excited for this. I love all of these. And the fighting only gets better the more that these old dudes practice, which is also good.
They played their way into shape.
Yeah, like, and it's also like the fighting, them fighting is not like really what it's about. It's about like the kids and the
but there were some impressive action sequences that party ambush or whatever in season 3. That was really cool.
Yeah, I really love the show. Obviously, like, this is going to be a show that I really enjoy, so I'm very excited for this next season. I think this is going to be the last season. Is this the last one?
No, they've actually renewed it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm excited to see where these characters go. This isn't I don't think this is a show that's going to be able to sustain 7 seasons. But I do. Ryan does not agree with me. He says in the chat it has big 10 seasons.
Feels like
I do not agree. No, you wrote it, Ryan. That's on paper.
I'm saying no. I'm agreeing with what I said. They will never stop making the show. I'm just telling you right now. This is Netflix's SNL. Just be ready.
Because you can afford it. You can just shoot in the valley. It's a bunch of people who need work.
Well, like Atlanta for the valley, but
Atlanta for the valley. Yeah.
I'm all in on Cobra Kai. Here is my new 3-album box set of the soundtrack I bought from Mondo.
The soundtrack. Okay.
Cobra Kai or the movies?
Cobra Kai.
Okay, cool.
But I have to tell you, I wore my Cobra Kai t-shirt at Universal Orlando a few months ago and got stopped by so many people. Cool shirt. Love that show. And it really struck me both by how many people were fans, but also it really was like 8 to 80. It was like they have hit a sweet spot here with the nostalgia, but also legitimately getting kids who weren't alive when the Karate Kid came out. And I'm impressed that it's like, like you said, Spencer, it's like, it's got enough heart. It's funny enough. It's got the campiness in the way you want it to. It's just a good recipe they got for this Cobra Kai. So.
And you like the people, like you want them to win, even the people that are jackholes. Like you still want them to win,
I love
now
that.
We know Tori's tragic backstory. Come on.
Eric, I love that. That's kind of like the litmus test for politics, where like you go to a diner and ask people how they feel about the issues. For nerds, it's like you wear the T-shirt and walk around Universal Studios, and you just see what the common folks have to say about it. So something that there's two things, at least two more things that I wanted to flag. Man, there's a lot of shows. But interestingly, that I don't think that's even really made it into the script of like the main heavy hitters, but kind of tells you something about it. I think Red Notice is a ta-dum for me. Red Notice is The Rock and Reynolds and Gal Gadot.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Exactly. It's an that one. And they released like it's substantial. It's like a 3.5 minute clip from the film about them fighting over an egg. And I gotta say, this just felt so cookie cutter of like, from the plot to the characters to like even their personalities. It's like I've seen these three do these same three things all the time, but this is just like the most kind of 2D version of it. I don't know. This was too dumb for me, which I wouldn't think it would be. What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, I'm definitely gonna watch it. Like there's no way I'm not gonna watch it. But yeah, no, it's literally like, let's have all of these people do the thing that they do and then mash them together and see if it works. And we used to get movies like this all of the time. I think that we're just not used to seeing movies like this anymore. Because we used to get these all the time where they would literally be like, oh, well, you know, Eddie Murphy, you do the funny thing. You over there, you do the action thing, and you here, you do the voices, and now we're all going to put you together in a movie and we're just going to have you do that. You know, like this is the it reminds me of, why can't I think of that movie right now? Whatever, we'll move past it.
Well, but it's like to me, I just rewatched The Last Boy Scout, where it's like, get Bruce Willis to be Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans to be Damon Wayans, you know?
Yeah, like it's that kind of movie where, and I think that we're just not used to seeing these as much anymore, because now it's like, well, it's the people doing the same thing that they do, but they're doing it with the same people over and over and over and over and over again. We're not used to them doing the remixing where they like take it and make it into something else. So I don't know, like this could be, it's definitely going to be fun. Is it going to be a movie that any of us remember in a year? Nah.
Yeah. I was thinking of it's very Collision Course is one of those movies.
Yes, that's exactly
the
one
late
of those
Pat
movies.
Morita and Jay Leno.
Amazing.
Let's have them do their thing together.
It's a to me. I'll check it out, but it's they're doing exactly what you expect them to do. I chuckled at Reynolds not being able to break the glass and trying to reach over. That was funny to me, but nothing. Yeah, it's very cookie cutter. But this is the thing. This is like kind of what I was talking about with the Netflix movies thing. It's like, I think the budget, I saw someone mention this even in the YouTube comments, how it's like the crazy thing is the budget for this movie apparently is like better part of 200 million. So basically it's the same as like Shang-Chi. It's just that I think we've mentioned this before. The reason Netflix budgets are that high for a movie like this is because they pay all the talent up front because they're not getting back end. So that's probably 100 million for the talent. Yeah. And so it's the budget ends up not being what a MCU movie that has the same budget is, where they get people you don't know for a movie like Shang-Chi, and they can use it all on screen. So it's just a weird thing because, again, it's the feeding the algorithm thing. It's like, look at those stars they got. And so it's important product for them, you know?
Found the movie. I was thinking of Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, which is a movie that stars Estelle Getty as the mom and then Stallone as the cop. Where you just take the two, Estelle Getty from Golden Girls, you just take the two people.
One is Sylvester Stallone, the other is his mom.
The woman from Golden Girls. Boom, make a movie.
People who have very pre-sold personas.
But I mean, that's Netflix's, that's kind of the only lane left open to a Netflix, because all the IPs have been snapped up by every other studio. So the only thing left is something like the names, stars, give them a huge check to do a direct-to-DVD movie, but it stars The Rock instead of Seagal.
And that's why they try to make Rick happen, you know?
Rick lives! Rick lives!
They're trying to do that with The Gray Man. Obviously is going to be what seems to be their biggest attempt at that. We'll see if that works, but The Gray Man giving the Russos all that money and then having the two Chris's do the old spy versus spy thing. We'll see if that... Surprised we actually didn't see anything about that. I guess they're just now filming it, but
yeah.
And that's for Tadum 2022.
And I will end with this, and then we can you guys can bring up anything that I left out that you thought was cool. I'm giving a big Tadum of another thing that just threw a bunch of stars at the wall and definitely stuck with me is Don't Look Up. Oh man, this clip was just mwah. I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch this, but DiCaprio and in that meeting with Meryl Streep and Jonah Hill is just, it's a perfect scene. It tells you everything I need to know about the movie. This is just like smart idiocracy, I guess, is the vibe I'm getting from it.
Right.
Where they're just arguing about how to spin the comet, how they're going to talk about the comet that's going to collide with Earth. It just seems perfect.
I love nothing more than a comet movie. Like I remember when I went to go see Sudden Impact, that's a different movie. But when I went to go see Deep Impact, thank you, with my mom, and we just wanted to go see all the comet stuff, and my mom was like, it made me cry and I'm upset about it. But this is very much, because it's obviously like it's the same style as Vice. It's like that same style, and being able to apply that to something that is more fantastical and be able to extrapolate the way that we would actually handle something like that, and do it in a way that's going to be like funny and interesting and cool and a lot of like fast talking, smooth walking. I'm totally down. Like that is my thing. Like that is they have tapped into the Sorkin-y part of my brain, but it's like better now.
This looks really fun to me, and I think I remember the teaser before. This clip came out as part of Tadam, but there was a teaser about a week or two before, and I think they very pointedly mentioned Adam McKay made it, and I think they made sure to say from the creator of like Vice and The Big Short and Step Brothers and Talladega Nights, because he kind of had that shift in his career. But this movie does look like it's trying to blend both, because it's not based on a true story. So even though he's going to obviously be making commentary on our modern politics and people, it also gets to be a little more wacky and broad, and I'm all for that. With very rich, famous people that he can get.
Oh man, if Adam McKay has reached his final form, then we're all in trouble. It's game over for Hollywood. Super exciting. So before we move on to fan questions and comments, anything else pop out? I know they announced a bunch of Emily in Paris season 2.
They're not taking Emily to another city. I thought she would like traipse the globe, but oh well.
I think you have to change her name to something that rhymes.
Oh, that's right.
Emily in Germany.
Yeah.
MLR in Kandahar. Let's do it. Anything else? Like I know they announced a bunch more stuff, but those are the top highlights for me.
I can mention the Stranger Things clip. Of
course. Stranger Things season 4. That's
I liked that it was like something different, mixing up, and people have noted that the character that we're learning the little backstory there is the character Robert Englund is playing in the present. And you know me, I love
That's
some
exciting.
Freddie. I'm all about the teasing of whoever Englund is playing in this season.
Yeah, it gave me some like Fright Night vibes, leaning more into the 80s horror stuff. That's sure, why not? Gotta crank that out before those kids fully hit puberty.
They are, I mean, eventually they really are going to have to de-aging them or like something, because it's like they are full adults at this point.
Yeah, there's something undignified about a kid who looks like they're or is 25 on a BMX bike. It's just kind of Dear Evan Hansen-ish.
I was just gonna say, oh, Dear Evan Hansen. Oh, I can't. Is that on streaming yet? Can I watch that yet? No,
not yet.
Because I'm not going to a theater for it, but I'm watching it the instant that it's on streaming.
Oh, and should we mention that we're all, obviously more excited than we've been for anything in our lives for Tiger King 2?
Yeah, you got to mention that.
I'm not though. I'm
not either.
That's the thing, is like, unless they break Joe Exotic out of jail for it, I don't know why we're doing this. I mean, he's the story. It's him and Carol Baskin, and if you don't have your Rizzoli, then you don't have your Isles. You don't have your Rizzoli. I don't know why that was the only duo I could think of.
Oh, I am looking forward to the next
Franklin,
season.
You don't have your Bash.
I'm weird about the next season of Bridgerton because it doesn't have the hot Duke in it anymore, because apparently like they're following the books, and like the hot Duke who had to violently throw himself off of ladies he is no longer in the this story. And so I'm like, but he was like half of the reason that I watched it was Hot Black Duke. So I'm a little like, oh, but also like, I don't know.
They could find a Hot Black Viscount or other member of the gentry.
I don't think that there is, because they're going by the books, and it's like, now if it's just about the white people again, I don't think I'm going to be. I'm sorry, I don't think I'm going to be into it. Hot Black Duke was like 98% of the reason why I watched it, which is like why now everyone is saying that Hot Black Duke should be Bond, and I'm like, I'm listening.
Okay.
My other last thought with Tiger King though is just that I'm kind of resentful of it, only because I think we all agree that Tiger King served its purpose, which is it debuted right before lockdown. So it became this like unifying thing of everyone, like, we're all trapped inside. Let's watch this ludicrous story about these ludicrous people. But now I'm just like, it's been a year and a half. You're just reminding me that there's still a pandemic. I don't need more. I don't need more Tiger King.
Don't remind me of the passage of time. Granted, Tiger King could have come out 2 years or 2 weeks ago. I've completely lost track.
No one knows.
But maybe you can dust off your old Joe Exotic Halloween costume. Does the timing work on that, and just reuse it for Tiger King season 2?
Oh, someone will, and we won't get it.
Thanks y'all for watching. That's all the Netflix that's fit to dumb. But please call out in the chat if there's things we didn't cover that you wanted to see or excited for, and like and subscribe if you haven't already. Surely you have by now. Let's go on to the comments. Matan Valensky writes, do you think the all-in-one module that Netflix does could hurt the ratings of some shows if it had been weekly, which might have led to some cancellations? So I guess this gets to any of these things that you think they announced might have benefited or might still in the future benefit from a weekly release rather than dumping it out.
Honestly, I think that these days we have seen that, like, it definitely, I think a weekly release does better, because I think with most of these, like, you get it over a week. And again, it worked during the pandemic fantastically. It worked when we were all still like really into the binge model. But I think now that things are, we've started to see with shows like Ted Lasso, shows like White Lotus, like shows that have been on other networks, it does benefit you to have a once a week model, but the once a week model where people still get to catch up on it whenever they want to. Because if you do, we've noticed that now if you do things over a weekend, people are talking about it from that weekend. And then if you want to talk about it the next weekend, the conversation's over.
Yeah.
I think
go ahead.
I think, oh no, sorry. I was just going to say that I think that, I understand when people bring up some of the cons, including like, well, if the show's in a lull or having like a weak storyline, then people might drop off if it's week to week. But I guess I say, well, make sure you don't have that. Because if you were weekly, it benefits you so well, because it's like there's certain shows that I just know I'm going to catch up on, because I feel more like if I see 8 weeks of people tweeting about them being like, oh, it's great this week, another great one. Like you said, Danielle, it's like the conversation just has gone so quickly that it hurts word of mouth, even if the show's good. Because as much as I snark on Netflix, there's plenty of great Netflix shows too. But even if the show's good, people just stop talking about it way quicker. And so it doesn't permeate, versus like a weekly thing where it's just like people keep talking, people keep engaging, and you kind of see that. And I think you've seen a lot of benefit from that in the past couple of years.
You raised an interesting. Oh, go ahead, Danielle.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, that was like a big thing with Ted Lasso that I think was that like I believe the initial release was that it was all at once, and so then it got people kind of hooked on it, and then now it's from week to week. Every Thursday night when they premiere, all you see on your timeline: Ted Lasso, Ted Lasso, Ted Lasso, Ted Lasso, and that's going to continue until the season is over.
Yeah, it's free marketing. It's free real estate. But I do think that it might be Netflix in some way an admission that their stuff is bad, because I do think that they kind of maybe somebody there on some level knows that if you released, I'm thinking back to like the Marvel Netflix shows, and if you were releasing that week to week, when you had a filler ep of Daredevil's lawyer friend going on a date, like people would just not be back the next Sunday or whatever. So there's something to the fact that I will keep watching Netflix shows even if there's like 2 or 3 bad episodes in a row, just as long as there's just enough to get me to not lift my arm and hit a button. That's the kind of requirement.
That's how they win.
This is how they win.
This is how they win.
All right, let's do one more question. Wendigo 2064 Iffy writes, since live action anime adaptations have not stuck the landing very much, what American TV show would benefit from an anime adaptation? And I got to say, most of them. I can't think of many American TV series that wouldn't work if not as well, then certainly be an interesting take to see like Frasier the anime.
I want to see the magical girl transformation that Frasier goes to when he goes into the office and he becomes like therapist Frasier.
Well, he works as the principal of a high school for French maids. I believe is the premise of anime Frasier.
With his sidekick Eddie. Yeah, see, like that sounds perfect.
Niles is a floating cat, of course.
Of course.
It's funny, there's like been a couple of random anime, like there's an official Supernatural anime adaptation floating out there that you can find. For some reason, although there's legit, like I'm like, there are shows like Stranger Things and stuff. I'm like, that'd be a good anime. Lots of tentacles, they'd love it. But I want Parks and Rec, the anime, because I just want to see like the anime versions of all those characters.
Yeah, I mean, there's the slice of life stuff for sure, but I think that like anything that was kind of constrained by budget but was a bigger idea, like Firefly the anime, Legion the anime, anything like animation just opens you up to so much more possibilities that you don't have on a network budget. Buffy.
Yeah. Buffy would be great. Or you could do You and just have it be like a Love Hina, like that style of anime where it's just like, oh, all the girls that are surrounding me.
So all anime everything. If Star Wars Visions is anything to go on, sometimes it's great. Sometimes it's really weird and bad, but most of the time it's great. Anyways, that's our Tadum wrap up. I guess this will be an annual tradition. When we do Tadum and then we do who win or who lose for the Hulu one, and Primal Scream for Amazon. But thank you, Danielle.
Peacock or not? I don't know.
Eric, thank you. Danielle, thank you so much. Audience as well, and everyone behind the camera. Thanks so much. We'll see you shortly. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
This episode was brought to you by Hulu.